Liberian. 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 Liberian.
Another day again. Welcome to the Logan's Hour. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are. Today promised to be another great edition. Today in studio we have Mr. Anthony Gaflor. Some of you who live in Indianapolis, you know who Mr. Anthony Gaflor is. He's one of the residents of the Liberian community. So today we will be, if you look on the screen, this is Mr. Anthony Gaflor. We'll be in conversation with Mr. Anthony Gaflor. And we have two of my own brothers in studio here today as well, Mr. Jeremiah Chi and Mr. Joshua Power, and also Mr. Papi S. Colley Jr. will join us. So today promised to be a very good conversation. And the conversation will be tailored around the Liberian community. And because Mr. Anthony Gaflor, he's one of those pioneers who have lived here for some time. So he will be giving all the dichotomy between the Liberian community and the Liberian Association, and also some general questions that will relate to the issues on a discussion. So we will take just a little short more intro of our little country song. Then we will come back and bring our panelists on, so you can see them, and we will go through some other discussion here tonight as well.
La BU.
Oh God! Oh my word! You know the traditional song and the way you can go on my website. You have to the other introduction for you with all the kind of jump beating inside. But it is what it is. So I would just bring my guys on right away. I will bring on Mr. Jeremiah Cheer first. Then I'll bring on Mr. Papi S. Cully. Mr. Jeremiah Cheer, you are live. Welcome to the Logan hour, my dear brother.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Logan, and good evening to our listening audience out there in Africa, the U.S., continental, Asia, America. We're pleased to have you viewing us this evening. Thank you. We look
Thank you
forward
so
to a fruitful discussion with our guests.
Thank you so much, my dear brother, Mr. Jeremiah Chia. Then I would just get my brother, Mr. Papi S. Cully. How are you, my dear brother?
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here again this evening, and it is my hope and prayer that we have a fruitful discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my dear brother, Papi Cully. And today we will be in conversation with Mr. Anthony Gaflor. I saw Mr. Anthony Gaflor in the background just now, but he just slipped up. And today's conversation will be more about Indianapolis and Mr. Anthony Gaflor's role he has played in the community. And we will throw some light on some other issues as usual, but we will deal more with his role in the Liberian community, because he said he wanted to give the dichotomy between the organization and the Liberian community and other relevant issue concerning the Liberian community as well. So we
Philip, I
look
think
forward
you're
to.
muted.
Really? Papi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Jeremiah, do you not hear me? Can you hear me, Jerry? I think it will be Jerry. It will be a headphone. Trust me. All right. So, Jerry, can you hear me now? All right. So I think Jerry should be having a little problem with his earphone. So he's going to adjust that. And as I stated, I have Mr. Anthony Gaflor in the back right now. He's pretty seated. He willing to come and discuss the issue. So Mr. Anthony Gaflor, he's one of the residents of the Liberian community who have lived here for a little good while now, and he have a clear appreciation as to the problems the community are confronted with, or the Liberian community specifically. And he also said most time in some of his comments, he looked to see forward the day where a person who will come and actually discuss the issues and not joining the community with the organization. So we stay confused when it comes to that part. Jerry, can you hear me? Jeremiah, can you hear me? All right. Mr. Gaflor is pretty seated. I can see him in the back right now. I want to bring Mr. Gaflor on, but I just want to make sure
Yeah, you're coming in a bit distorted, but I can try to hear you.
I think, Jerry, I think it will be your headphone.
Yeah, I
if
can
you're
hear
not
you.
okay. All right. So want to say welcome to the Logan's Hour, my dear brother, Honorable Zion Glachier, the Crown Ambassador. The Crown Ambassador is also here watching this program. And we have tons of other people who join us here on Facebook. They are watching this program as well. So Mr. Gaflor today will just tell us more I have Precious Logan, Ase Gofen Jr., Ernest Samuel, and the rest of other people who has joined this program to hear from Mr. Anthony Gaflor today. So before we bring Mr. Anthony Gaflor on, I would just love for my studio panelists to introduce themselves first before Mr. Gaflor can join us. So I will start with Papi. Papi, let's go ahead, introduce yourself. Then we'll come to Jeremiah. Then from there we'll go and welcome our guest for today.
Well, it's a great pleasure again for us to be here. And Mama Liberia is the only country that we have. I think discussion that will be held here is all tailored to be in the interest of the common good of our republic. My name is Papi, a resident of the Ohio, Columbus area. And like I said, this is something that we come here every day to look at issues, more especially that is very important to the improvement, like he stated. We have our guest today will be talking about our own community, the Liberian community, irrespective of your location. I think these kind of a conversation are healthy because you'll get to know. Because there are certain people that say, I don't want to affiliate myself with anything, all because of
I can hear you, Papi. Go ahead. All right, so I would just go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah, just do your intro quick so we can get Mr. Gaflor on. I think Papi should be in the background.
Okay. Viewers, my name is Jeremiah Chi. As you may all be aware, I'm a resident of Indiana. I'm a Liberian, and I'm married with kids, and I look forward to having a in-depth discussion with our panelists and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeremiah Chiet. So, not to delay, we will just bring in Mr. Anthony Gaflor. Mr. Gaflor?
Yes, sir.
Just set the camera good so the people can see your face. Just bring a camera down later.
Okay.
All right. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Indianapolis, Liberian community. Here is your own Anthony Gaflor. Mr. Gaflor, I want you to bring it down a little more so they can see your whole face. Okay.
Is it better?
Yeah, it better now. It better now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have I see all of them popping up, Peter Howard, and all of them coming small now. Because they said they're going to ask you too many questions today. Somebody here said they were going to ask you a question. Her name is Celine, so I think that question will come for herself, or probably I might ask that question because it has been an issue that she raised in the chat on numerous occasions now. So probably when my guests come back, you will love to ask that question, or maybe I might ask that question as well. So those of you following us out there today, we want to say thank you so much. We want to say thanks to Mr. Anthony Gaflor for also joining us today, at least leaving your busy schedule just for 1 hour. So if you're somewhere far, okay, please join us. See my Annie Gibson and the rest of the other folks, they are joining right now. Join us quick because today's conversation will just be for 1 hour. And what makes the conversation more interesting, Mr. Anthony Gaflor is sitting on the panel here with his own good friend, Mr. Jeremiah Chie. Two of them can bum heads, but they are cool. Trust me, they are cool. So let's just go straight into it. I know the rest of the other folks will join us. So let's just go to Mr. Gaflor right now. Mr. Gaflor, can you please introduce yourself, please, to our people who following?
Thank you, Mr. Logan, and thank you to all of the panelists and viewers near and far away. My name is Anthony Zamangi Tanukoli Bodegi Gaflor. Today, I'm honored to be here to discuss issues concerning our association.
Mr. Gaflor, set the camera better. Set the camera better, please.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
To discuss issues concerning our association / the community. So I hope we will be civil in the discussion, and whatever is discussed today will be able to help us in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anthony Gaflor. If you have a stamp to put your phone on, it will be appreciated because this conversation is going to last for at least 1 hour. So if you want to set yourself up better, then you can do that. All right. There you go.
Is this better?
Yes, that is perfect.
Okay.
Those are you following us up there. So The man you heard just now, I can call all the name from Lofa. This is Mr. Anthony Gaflor. He's one of the residents of the Liberian community. For some reason, Mr. Gaflor, for every time you leave your phone, just keep going up. Okay, like that. So if it can just be stable for you, that would be better, because in 1 hour time, I know if you're holding it with your hand, you're gonna get tired or later. So I have Prince Bono, my dear brother Albert, the ambassador. He's here. I have Ernest Samuel. He already complaining that that means the 1 hour is not enough. I have Damawa Sosa. I have Selim Valentino, and the rest of the other folks, Orito Joe Banks, and Ma Annie Gibson, Samahamo Logan, Peter Howell, the crime ambassador Zayangla Cheyi, Tutu Makati, and all of these people are following here tonight. So if you have the question for Mr. Gaflor, the best you can do, 30 minutes to the end of the show, we're going to open the line for you to place your calls through. But if you want him to answer an online question, you can put your question in the comment section as well. Jeremiah and I are going to read your question to Mr. Gaflor. We'll display it on the screen for Mr. Gaflor to also answer those questions. So if you have some questions while the conversation is going on, you want for Mr. Gaflor to answer, you can also ask a question. If you want to wait 30 minutes to the end of the show, then Mr. Gaflor will also be here to answer your questions, because he will also take some calls, at most 8 calls. So with all no delay, I'm Philip Logan, your lead host, and Jeremiah Chia here today as one of my hosts for today's all edition of Mr. Anthony Gaflor. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Mr. Jeremiah Chia.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Logan. Welcome again, Mr. Gaflor. Mr. Gaflor, we're going to do this thing very rapid, but very informational, because our people out there needs to know what has been obtaining in the past and present. So the first question goes like this. Do you treasure the Liberian community now or the one back then?
Thank you. The community been around even before we got here.
Right.
My interest in here today is the association / the community. Whether we agree or not, this community will exist. Okay? I treasure the one that I was a part of from the beginning, and the one that I'm still part of now.
Okay. Just a little bit of follow up on that question. What has been your take on these electioneering season, our upcoming election? What has been your take?
Okay. Over the years, though every association have a culture, and the culture of LAR is not one thing that I would love for it to see continue. The leadership over the years have sat with no mechanism in place into collecting due, and wait until at the end of the day go to compromise due payment so that they can make money. So if you follow the trend of revenue generation, it's always during election season. I call it the harvest season. I'm a farmer. The farmer biggest time for revenue intake is during the harvest. So our biggest time to generate revenue is during election season, where people can pay $60, $70, $100. Then they turn in and say, "Oh, I left the coffer in this much." How did you get that? What did you do in 3 years? You have to wait until time for election, because people want to vote for their favorite candidate. When they come and pay, then you say you left money. I don't think that's the best way to stack up revenue. You should have a strategy in place to collect revenue, whether it's election time or not. So that is my problem I have with them. And I hope this will change one day.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Gaflor. So, Jeremiah, if there's no follow-up, I can just go with my one question first. All right, Mr. Gaflor, my question to you is, the other day we had a conversation, and you say you would love to see someone who can better separate the community from the organization. So my question to you is, what really separates the community from the organization?
Good. When I say separate the community from the association, we have to be 2 independent bodies.
Okay.
All right. The community existed before the association. Okay. The association is a group of people get together with a common purpose and have rules. All right. It may not be formal. So it will not be fair to the 10 people who got together to form LAR to render full services to the 1,000 people that live here.
Okay.
Okay. So these are some of the reasons why it's hard to tell, okay, we want to raise $10,000 or $5,000. How do we go about? You got only 4 people. Okay. But we are waiting for are we waiting for the 4 people to take care of the 1,000 people?
No.
So I think if we want to achieve an objective of the association, we should be able to pin our people where they are, who they are, then we can be able to deal with them. Then just take group of people who have no intent to say they're going to join you. You're going to have some problems. So the association should be the votes from the community. Yes, it is true that we have some moral responsibility in to render to the community, but it will not be something that will be binding.
Okay. Yeah. Your camera keep going up and down.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
So you can just set it better, so at least it can balance. All right. So, okay. Somebody saying the same thing. Somebody says you please face the camera. All right. So that's a fair one. But if I should expand more on that, Jeremiah having a little internet problem. I think he's going to join us shortly. So the community being separated from the organization is the body of people who live here, and the community will always exist regardless of the organization or not. So you've been here, and when it comes to the historicity of this community, you know more about the community. I think you've been here before the organization was formed, or you're one of those founder of the organization. Do you care to elaborate more on that?
All right. Thank you. I'm glad someone is thinking the way I've been thinking, and happy to be you. Thank you so much for that. Over the years, or before I moved here, there was an association here, but by the time I got here, it had gone underwater. So we had a group of guys on the south side who used to always hang out on the west side. And we decided to say, no, we just can't be going like this. Let's form ourselves into an association. But the community existed before we got here. But then we decided to form an association. Okay? And through that effort, our first chairman, who we call now president, was Kolba Kabak. And Rufo was our first vice president. And we put into place due collections. It was $5. Okay. How could 10 men put $5 together? That's $50 to take care of the 1,000 people. Eventually, people begin to join, and today we are where we are. So the association is younger than the community. Then
Yes.
why will you blame it to say they are one? The association can get dissolved today, but the community will not get dissolved. It will exist.
It's true.
So if you follow that, I think there's a reason why we should go independent, free to live in Indiana, but you're not compared to become a member of the association. Okay,
that's a fair one.
So I want us to see it in this way. Then we can be able to control. Some of the lack of control is because we do not have how you call it, system into play to identify who you are. Somebody can just come from Timbuktu and join it, say I'm a Liberian, I'm a member of the community, and do what they want to do. But as an association, you fill paperwork up, you sign some commitment, and you will be held by that commitment. But not in the community. The community that is with you and the federal government or the state government to say, hey, you came here, you brought weed, so we'll deal with you. But as an association, we'll hold you by a membership form. So I want us to see that and see reason that everybody should be able to be responsible for what they do in the association.
Okay. So somebody asking Damawa, she said, who are those people who made up the community at the time? The 10 people that you referred to?
We did not make it. Okay. The people, I just gave you the 10, but more than 10. I was speaking Anthony Gaflor, Double Kolba Kaba, Casa Dennis, Rachel Cotter, Robert Sosa, Johnson Cover, Columbus Zina, and our respective wives by then. So all those names are called her wives. So if you add them up, that will give you the figure.
All right. Thank you so much. So for those of you following, if you want to ask Mr. Gaflor any question, you can also put your question in this comment section, or you can wait 30 minutes to the end of the show. You can call and ask Mr. Gaflor your question. So Mr. Gaflor, the question I'm about to ask you, the question is meant to sweep you off your feet. What I mean, just trying to get you shaking because you're in the hot seat right now. It is alleged by one of the community residents that you refer to her parents as beggars because they were trying to show you some upcoming fundraiser program, and she alleges that you call her a beggar or you call her parents a beggar. Do you care to address that? Because it has been circulating on the community chat for some time now.
It is unfortunate that anyone would take that to be true. All right?
Mm-hmm.
If I said it to her or to anybody, why did they not bring it up to me at the time? Do they have an audio or do they have a print to show that, hey, this is what you said? Or if they misunderstood the conversation, why did they not bring it up? I think we need to stop carrying this kind of a false narrative around that. Hey, because maybe you have heard that I had some heated argument with somebody. He said, well, I'm just going to add more water to the mud so it can be deeper for it to sink. Why did they not bring it out? A couple of days ago when some issue came up about First Lady being selected to appear on the show, and that was my first time hearing or reading about this by the poster. Okay? And because her post was so, described it derogatory, I did not respond to it and I let it go, because if I had gone to respond it, we would have gone the whole 9 yards. And if she thinks that she got control of foul language, which I will not go down with her, I let her slide. Okay, but I'm telling you today and telling the world or those that are listening to me today that those statements that came out of whoever mouth or posting that came out, it is very not true and it's a lie.
Okay, so Mr. Gaflor said those statements, and what they are alleging, they are all false, and those statements do not represent or resemble him. So Mr. Jeremiah Chie is trying to join us, but he having a little difficulties. So I think I'm just going to accept him through the way of the phone, and then he can ask a question to you by the way of the phone. Mr. Chie, you want to ask a question by the way of the phone since you have a little technical difficulties?
This is painful, so it happens a lot. Yeah, I could.
Mr. Gaflor, can you hear him?
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I could do so while I try to adjust. Mr. Gaflor, I want to ask you a very cynical question. Are you a bully?
Bully is selective.
Okay, Cherry, can you just simplify your little move? You gotta know Mr. Gaflor.
Mr. Gaflor, like I said, I'm asking you a little cynical question. Are you a bully? Do you bully people?
When you say bully, I'm from the old school. All right. If you have a thick skin, then you feel bully. All right. But if you have a skin of a man, you will stand it and you will go through the challenges. If a guy tells you things that you think you are not man enough to stand it, then you will describe that as being bullied. But if the man tells you things that you think you can face the challenges, face it and deal with it. I'm not a bully. To precisely answer your question, I'm not a bully.
Okay. One could ask you another question. What has been your achievements in this community since your establishment as a resident here? What has been your achievements?
I have lived here for as long as I moved here. Okay, I represented Liberian in Indiana or even in America. I do not have a felony. All right, I go anywhere and say I'm a Liberian. I'm a proud Liberian. Okay.
That's your
I
achievement.
have listen. You asked me. Okay. The association today that you are talking about, it was through my ingenuity that the association was funded. All right. I have lived here. I'm the father of 3 children, beautiful children, 25, 22, and 16. Okay. I have never been kicked out of the place. I represent Liberian community Liberian association in so many fashions. Okay. I do not have to own a Lamborghini. I have a car. I have a home. I have been a mortgage holder before.
One could classify those things as your achievement in the community, right?
Your achievement, your meaning of achievement could be different. What could be poor for you could be rich for somebody. What could be rich for you could be poor for somebody. Okay? We all are here with different intentions. So what I'm here for is what I'm pursuing. So as long as I'm on track, I'm achieving it.
Jerry, can you hear him?
He's coming in a bit distorted as well, but I think he's trying to say that things that he owns personally are his achievement in the Liberian community. Is that right?
Now, I'm telling you, what you call achievement, what I consider achievement could not be what you consider achievement. I live here peacefully, okay? Problem free, all right? When I show up as a Liberian, people say, oh, yeah, you are Liberian, yes. Come on. I've had my job for long. I've had mortgage in my name. I have apartment in my name. I have cars in my name.
Are you a signatory to the Constitution of the founding fathers of this community?
No, not because I'm funded it. I'm not running a leadership that to say the man with the biggest gun should be the president. Funded it and trusted it into the hands of knowledgeable people. The 501c. I'm a signatory to the 501c that God destroyed.
Are you a signatory to the Constitution of the Liberian Association in Indiana?
No.
Thank you. The follow-up question to that is financially.
Yeah.
I know you've been cleared with your due payment with the association. Is that correct?
Oh, sure.
Hello?
Yeah, he said yes.
The financial record indicates that you've been cleared on multiple occasions. So if elections were held today, who do you support and why?
Okay. First thing, I accepted to talk to you because the last time I reviewed the roster, you had not paid a dime. So why are you going to put the your money there? But I'm going to talk to you because this is an interactive something.
I'm not getting his responses.
Yeah. You're not getting it, Jerry?
I'm not getting it that clear.
Okay.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, listen to this. I'm not lying, clear.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I said I had decided not to discuss the association with you because the last time I checked the roster, you had not paid a dime. So why are we talking about my money that you don't have no investment into? Anyway, but to precisely answer your question, I will support.
You try to be comical while answering the question. I understand. I get it. The question is directed to you.
Yeah.
Because you are the guest on this program.
Yes.
I know you. Like I said, your class act of bullying is well appreciated by others, and we know that. So my question to you.
Yeah.
If elections were held today,
who
will you support and why?
Okay. If election was held today based on the platform of those contesting, I will draw my line for who to support. But until I can see the platforms, I will not make any judgment right now because I could say right now, because right now the Election Commission have not even released the name of candidates. They are still going through the vetting process. Okay, they only told all those that have applied. It is possible Logan name is there, but he could not meet the qualification, or Parker name is there, could not meet the qualifications. Until those things are done, I'm still reviewing my options. But when the Election Commission come out today and say, okay, after going through the vetting process, these guys are the ones that we're going to take that will be going to the ballot, and you can follow them Then they gave me their platforms. Then I will decide who to vote for. But until then, I'm still waiting my option. I'm elected to vote because if the platforms are not loaded with what I wanted to be in it, I may say, hey, I will become a member, but I will not choose anybody, so I will not have anybody to blame.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Gaflor, have you ever thought about contesting election in these LA's electioneering times? Have you ever thought about it, about leading?
I have not thought about it. I mean, I think I could be more helpful to the association, being a member, contributing and supporting member than becoming a leader.
Personally, has it ever clicked to you that there should be a town of ambition to one day lead? Has it ever occurred to you?
Leading the association, yes, but when I can decide, but I have not decided yet.
What would you classify then as one of your biggest regrets in the community?
My biggest regret in the community is when the association was founded. Like I said, I'm heavy on the association and the community. When the association was founded, the purpose and where we wanted to be, we still have not gotten there. And the reason we have not gotten there is because of this mixture of one man is a member for 6 months, the next man is a member for 3 months, and they all live here and we only come to action during election. If we all have stuck together and pay our fair share of dues, I think we'll be to where we want to be or near to where we want to be. But can you imagine we have an association that is about 22 years old and we are still paying $5 and people can barely afford to pay $5? How do we expect to achieve our objective? That is my regret, that we are not stepping up to reality. We are still dreamers.
Mr. Gaflor, I'm sorry to be
don't feel sorry. Come on, don't feel sorry. Just say what you want to say.
From 0 to 10, how will you grade President Rufus Tati's government over the past 3 years?
I will grade Rufus Tati a 4.
What?
Why?
You ask me for friend. The reason? Rufus Tati have not changed nothing that he made there. We were at $5 when Rufus was co-chair of vice president.
Just set the camera better, yeah, Mr. Gaflor. We can see you.
I think something is wrong. Okay, if I go this way.
Yeah,
Rufus
but if you can make it static, that works.
Yeah, okay, Rufus made it at $5, kept it at $5, but created more overhead. All right, created more overhead. How do we expect to pay for those overhead when we do not change our baseline? I would have loved to see Rufus when he got to place and say, look, based on economic factors, I want the due payment to increase so it can help us.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you cut me off while I try to reconnect on the video?
All right, he tried to reconnect on the video because he want to be looking in your eyes and asking you the question. So get ready for Mr. Jeremiah Chia because tonight he will be here.
Okay, so
Mr. Chia,
Rufus got the medal at 5, Remy at 5. He saw whatever fund that he made there, it still remain like that. He had not point to place any mechanism that will change our balance sheet. Our balance sheet stay the same, or even less than what he made there. So he's waiting until election when everybody can with that rush payment. Then he say, "I left money there." Okay. I think that is wrong.
Okay, so your grading system for Rufus Tati is based upon how many dollars he's going to leave in the account, or the impact that he makes as president when he was president, or
it's failure to effect progressive change.
So why the progressive change that you mentioned? Because all I hear you talking about is what he met in the account and what he's leaving in the account. So what is it that you look for?
He doesn't know what he's going to leave there. He does not know what he's going to leave there because he have not. People have not made due payment. He's waiting for the due payment that will elevate his balance sheet. Okay, $5. 20 years, you're paying $5.
Okay.
And then rational and a visionary leader will say, no. If we have to move further, considering the economic challenges, we have to step up our dues. Okay. I know the bigger achievement that he will say would be he had an office space. Okay. You get one responsibility.
And the 501c3, when he came, we never had it.
We had it.
We lost it.
Listen, it was just a reactivation.
Okay.
All right. And that was the lack of leadership responsibility. It was the leadership responsibility for not finding it. Okay. So he can say, brother, we had it. It was just a reactivation.
Yeah.
Renewal.
And first time in the community history, we have the financial secretary, we have the general secretary, they have computers now. They are not writing manually.
Those things were in the works.
Yeah, but it was never implemented then.
What we're talking about achievement is how many people benefit from that. What is the impact of those things to on the larger scale?
Well, you could say that, but those are a few little things that he did here and there that needed to be highlighted.
That's why he came to 4. All right. If he had done beyond that, and we go to 5, 6, or 7 bodies, I gave him credit for those assets that whether he acquired them or was in the middle, what he was doing every time. That's it. But I gave him credit for that.
Okay. All right. So we want to say welcome to our dear brother and friend, Honorable Joshua K. Powell Sr. So he's part of the conversation here tonight. Mr. Joshua Powell, I know you've been following while driving. You have any question to ask Mr. Gaflor? Because Mr. Jeremiah Chi really want to ask question, but the internet is giving him a little tougher time. Go ahead, Mr. Joshua Powell. Oh, hold on. I'll mute you. Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for having me on this platform. Let me say good evening to Mr. Gaflor of Indiana. I just came in and then I'm listening to the gentleman trying to degrade the effort of the past president or the soon to be past president, and I feel that is very unfortunate. If somebody do something good, say it. If they are
okay, he got kicked out. I think he got to John. Mr. Gaflor, he keep a real high spirit here today. Oh, my manager got to kick off for this show, yo.
To say, okay.
Go ahead.
Sincere enough to say it, but the gentleman there is degrading everything in the past 2 or 3 years that the gentleman has done. I have followed the Indiana politics. I followed the leadership of Rufus. He had done some good things. Rufus himself admitted that there was some lapses due to COVID and other issues, but there are some progress that he have made. There are Liberian community that don't even have a town hall from the existence of more than 10 to 15 to 20 years. This making the power and give you a town hall or give you a space, an office space, and you don't acknowledge that. This man came to power, you lost your 501c, he gave it back to you, gave you a startup, and you don't acknowledge that. Then tomorrow, when you come to power, how do you expect other people to critique or to appreciate you? It sounds to me like that Mr. Gaflor is a bullet, and he don't appreciate what other people do, and more to that, it is good to acknowledge whatever somebody is doing, whether it is little or that, but to bully people and to talk down on them, and then when you come to power, you expect people to respect you. It doesn't work that way. So I just wanted to start that as my intro, Mr. Gaflor. Your analysis on the president is not fair, and you need to improve on that.
Do you want me to come in, Mr. Logan?
Come in, Mr. Gaflor. Come in. Sorry, I have myself muted.
Let me see, Mr. Powell.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think 4 is far better than 0. Those things that he did, that I think he did well, everything that 4. Okay? You ask me a question. We are not in school where they had to give the borrow and give it to you. Say it. So if you could take my answer and you ask me a question and expect me to answer the way you think it is, I think that was kind of little. I don't want to use the word, but I think it was kind of little off. You ask me a question, so accept my answer as it is, but do not say I should have answered it the way you wanted me to answer it. So he got 4.
Okay.
So if I'm to divide the 4 by what he did, 1 for the office space, 2 for the reactivation of the 501c, okay, 3 for buying a PA system or a stereo. All right.
Camera, camera down small. Can see your face.
Okay,
Can you set that camera good so it can be going up and down?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
But I can hear you. Keep talking.
Yeah, find something to rest it on, because I think the people in the comment section here, they're going back and forth. So when it starts to call in, I know they're going to ask you more questions, because I see Ernest Samuel here too as well. Go ahead.
I mean, Philip.
To
be honest with you, grading a person's achievement from 0 to 10, and you're giving him 4 for 3 years, and you name it office space and also the PA system, also finances intact. I think it's a disservice to the president. From my view, I think it's a disservice in the form of, even though
you are better. You
okay?
Yeah. Can you hear me, Mr. Gaflor?
Yeah,
you are better. So Jeremiah is stressing on the issue of grading the president 4. He feels there's a disservice to the president. So can you expand more? What do you expect from the president that he never did, that you have to grade him 4 out of 10?
Before you answer that question, are you a due pay member? Are you up to date with your dues?
Where have you been when it was confirmed that I'm active everywhere? Too bad your phone went off. I have from the time the association was formed, I have always paid due to the fullest.
All right.
Okay. So I'm not going to respond or grade the president like we are grade heading. At the same time, come back and say this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it in the blunt way. Okay. Come on, man. That's it. Yeah, is the president that stayed there for 3 years. Okay. And half of his lieutenant and his town chiefs stay in area. Okay. Up now, there's no mechanism in place that when even the office space he rented. What mechanism does he have in place that when he leaves, his legacy can live on? Legacy is continuation. Now, when you leave, then that's not a legacy. All right.
So, Mr. Gaflor, basically, you're a taxpayer. You on calls with your due payment, and then you just relax to criticism. You're not putting hands on deck to help some of these things get done. You just criticize and pay your dues. Is that it?
No. Listen to this. You are a leader. You look in the association. Those who have the resources that you think you can tap into and be successful, you tap into their resources. All right. He knows my potential. Okay. He knows something that I'm able to do. He has never reached out to me.
So basically, are you being a loud person now because basically the president knows your potential and he didn't include you in his cabinet, or he didn't quote unquote call you on board to serve or something? I think when he won these elections, the floor was open, all hands on deck for everybody to be a part of it. I think there's a Liberian association. That's how it should be. And I think he opened his arms, but I don't know whether you wanted him to call you specifically, Mr. Gaflor, come and do this for us. Is that what?
No. He had his lieutenants to work with. In the last 6 months, he reached out to me to serve as special advisor on domestic matter. And I gladly accepted that position. And since then, I have advised him on domestic issues, and things have changed drastically. Okay, that was in the last 6 months. All right. So I can't say by appointing me. Listen, I can't say by he asking me to serve on the advisory board is an achievement. No.
You serve on the advisory board, and this is a government that you serve on the advisory board. I don't care whether it's the last 6 months or the last 1 second. You agree to serve on the advisory board, and this is the same government you are grading for. So are you considering this government as a failure?
Not the failure. but not to the point that we wanted him to score.
Are you
No.
considering the government? Because
No.
from 1 to
Not-
10,
Yeah, but four is a
so the
failing
government
grade.
didn't fail.
Yeah.
So the government didn't fail. The government didn't fail.
Hold on, listen to this. If you want me well,
No. Let's hold you there.
we had a bigger part that we wanted him to absorb.
Mhm.
All right, we
understand.
had a bigger part.
Yeah.
President, before he ran, what I would consider one of the major achievements that if he had done, Rufus drove between here and Sudbury and other Sudbury cities
Mhm.
to incorporate them into LAR.
Mhm.
When he became president, if he had gone and incorporated those people or those cities into LAR, and today we can see them, they are present in LAR, that would be a great achievement. And even any president that get there now, if you do that, you will have my 100% support. Okay, but he went there.
Okay, Mr. Gaflor, you stay holding the stool from under you. You grading this government 40%.
Yeah.
And then you serve in the final stages of the government. You still, I presume, you still serving because at the level of the advisory council, you still there, and you grading them 40%.
Yeah.
And what has been some of your thing on the domestic policy? Because he included you to advise him on domestic issues, like going to South Bend, Noblesville, all those places falls on a domestic.
Yes. I've suggested that to him before. Put a team together, like they go on July 26th. Say, look, check with Southern. All right. When do they decide? When have they decided to observe this day? Send a delegation there to say, we are from the mother city of Indianapolis. We are here to identify with you people and participate in their programs. All right. Then there's when listen. There's where the people will feel that you acknowledge them and you want to be part of you. You'll be proud of them, but that did not happen.
Oh, so you basically, it was just
No,
verbal. It's not practical.
You asked me for one, I gave you one.
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
listen,
what is?
Okay, it's not practical. You're serving as advisory member of on the board, whatever, and then you advising the president. And he's not doing it. You didn't take it further by being practical as an advisor. If the president, he already dedicated his responsibility to you. So
He's
now you
boss.
advising me on, he's advising you on these matters. If he fails, you fail. You understand that?
He is my boss. Listen, he is my boss. All right.
Okay.
I gave it to him and he acted based on how he sees it. But I told him.
Okay, you told him. So since it wasn't done, it's a failure, right?
Oh no, hold on. You are asking to you have asked me about his achievement. I gave it to you. I gave you his scorecard. Then you are coming back again.
Because
no,
but I'm
just,
coming back to you because you serve, and then your role in serving was to advise. And if you grading him full, so which means you fall in the bracket of that full of that 40%.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the ballpark. All right, and he's the captain of the ship. If
I'm not looking at the captain. I'm looking at others who serve. He's at the top.
I'm just an auxiliary. All right. So we look at the main.
Okay, Joshua won't come in. Joshua come in before Jeremiah come in again. Oh, sorry, Joshua, I have you muted. Sorry, because I think the background. Go ahead.
All right. So, Mr. Gaflor, the gentleman asked you a question. Just be straight up with her.
Can you come up with your question and what's your question?
All right. The question is: Do you grade this government as a failure? Yes or no?
On the scale, give me the scale from 1 to 4, or from 1 to 10. I gave it 4.
Yes, and 4 means you fail decimally.
Yeah, so you are telling me that you have a special number that you wanted me call, but not my own scorecard. You got your scorecard. I gave you my scorecard.
All right. It seems to me that you're trying to be politically correct. Let me just go to my next question.
Go ahead.
Since in my mind, I feel that you are disenchanted because the gentleman did not call you on board or promote you, or whatever the case is. What are you doing in this election? Are you taking are you coming on the front run? Are you participating, or you waiting for the other government to come and then you start to criticize them, or what are you doing to see the progress that you want to see for Indiana to kind of fulfillment? What are you doing in this coming election?
Firstly, one of the criteria to become a participant of the election is to pay your due. My due is pay 100%.
Correct.
Now, I am now setting watching door for those who say they want to contest. Let them go ahead. Whoever give me the platform and I read it, I say, oh, this guy got a better platform that I can fit into, or I get the idea that I can support that platform. Then come from there. All right. Everybody cannot become. There's only one seat, which is the seat of the president. Everybody cannot become the president.
All right, Mr. Gaflor, let me just ask this question quick, since Jeremiah brought it up. You know, we will leave this identical part of it, but we have to assess this identical question first before we can move forward. Now I have the youth chair watching as well, and I have tons of other people following this conversation. Jeremiah asked you the specific question. Looking at Rufus Tati, how do you grade Rufus Tati administration at a ratio of 10 to 1? 10 mean highest, 1 mean lower. And you grade Rufus Tati 4. 4, which means the administration failed dismally. At least if a teacher want to round out your score to a passing grade, he would take it from 60 and say, I will get out 10 and give you 70. But to take your grades from 40 to a passing grade is a real tough one for any instructor to do. So on what basis that this administration failed dismally?
Okay. Firstly, he had a grievance committee put together, and we still have not had no feedback. There are so many reasons. I just told you. He is failure to incorporate our local cities, our surrounding cities.
Okay.
He went there and saw their vote. They came there and voted. All right. And after he won the vote, he did not go to bring them back on board. So they are, like I told a guy today, I said, South Bend, Noblesville, and other places, they are like American healthcare and insurance. We only hear about them doing election time. So South Bend and Noblesville are only being heard of doing election season.
Okay.
Okay, and after the election, we walk away. That's not being fair. All right. You have the community, you have the association where you got people throwing at each other. You had a grievance committee. We have never had the feedback from the grievance committee. All right. You have the board. You have the power. What is the board doing? There are a lot of things that the platform is toxic. All right.
Okay.
You have not done nothing to stop that.
Okay, Mr. Gaflor. Your points are well taken and noted. What would be your advice for anyone who wins the election, the next president? What would be your advice for them? Looking at what we've been through now, according to you, what would be your advice? And do you think that if you advise these president or the president to come, would they trust your advisement, or because maybe perhaps if you are not included from the onset, you will criticize, and when you are included, what's your advice for the incoming government?
Listen, I'm just going to throw this for laughter's sake. What do you tell a child home when you are eating? You don't talk. You only talk when you are not eating. All right. That's
so basically,
listen, what did I say to you? I just trained this out there for laptop.
It's hypothetical. It's hypothetical. So basically, if Mr. Logan or Mr. Power wins the election, Mr. Parker wins the election, and you are included, you are placed on board, you won't talk because you're eating now. You government official now, and that's the meaning. So basically, you criticize, you critique government, you critique government simply because
Joshua, lay your phone down so you can fit the screen.
You simply criticize other government because you want a job.
So
you want a job, you want to serve.
Back to your question. I will advise them to do the right thing for the general public, for the association. All right.
Yes,
what makes things harder is that square peg in the round hole. All right. A square peg in the round hole. The association, that's the community is bigger than the association. How can you fit the community into the association? That becomes problematic. But you can easily fit the association into the community. All right, that's why I use the word the square peg in the round hole. Okay.
Okay,
go ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
Last question for Jeremiah. Don't go to Joshua. Go ahead,
Mr. Gaflor. Do you? This is a very sensitive question, because it comes every now and then, and you being a member of the community, I assume that you will delve into it a little bit. Do you believe that all humans are equal? Do you believe that?
Yes, we are born equal, but not equally equal.
Okay, we born equal, but not equally equal. But do you believe in every human own rights, own inalienable rights? Do you believe in them?
It's part of
Okay.
it's part. Yeah.
Okay. Do you support the LGBT rights in our community?
We are in a free world. All right. I don't choose what you do, but I can choose what I do.
Nobody
You are an
asked you,
adult.
do you support?
Do you support the LGBTQ rights in our community? Because
That's
everybody,
called-
I suspect that.
I will not. I can't choose what you do, but I can choose what I do. So
No,
I cannot
that's-
dictate to you. If you
asking
are an
you-
adult, you do what adult do. If you think whatever you do as an adult is what satisfies your adulthood, who am I to say?
But the question is,
Okay?
do you support?
I will not put my sin or time behind it. Equally, so I will not condemn you. If I don't come around you, what do I have to do to help you?
You tend to be fidgeting with the question, and you know exactly what the question answers should be. And the point is, do you support the rights of the LGBTQ community in our community? Do you support that?
Well, once you talk about rights, yes, I support their rights. They are right to affiliate.
Thank you. Thank you. We can move on. Another person can ask question before I
go ahead, Mr. Joshua Power. Then we'll come in. Then we'll go to the lines because I know tons of questions keep popping in the line. I won't read nobody question for you. I will open the line. You ask your own question because some of the questions are coming in the comment section. I ain't want to ask a question before somebody think I made up the question. So I will allow when they open the line, they're going to call themselves to ask those questions. So go ahead, Mr. J. Joshua K. Power Senior.
So, Mr. Gaflor, from your grading and analysis, you make me to put you in the category of the difficulty politician. The next government, if they promote you, then you eating orange, so you're not critiquing. If they don't promote you, if they don't bring you to the stage, you will grade it again on the C4 level. My question is, are you interested in this election?
Yes, I am interested 100+%.
In what capacity are you contesting? Are you supporting any candidate? Can we know your candidate?
I am an eligible voter.
Yes.
Okay. And like I said, the Election Commission has not told me who are the candidates. Okay. And none of the candidates have shown their platform to see the gravity that it has that will draw me to it or draw me away from it. Until those things are done, I'm just a mere vote caster.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Gaflor. Jeremiah, Mr. Joshua, if you have a follow-up, if you don't have a follow-up, I want to put the number on here for our followers who want to call in tonight. You can also call and ask your question. But before we can go forward, Damo Asasa want to ask you this specific question. She says she listened to you and she sees that you have been here for quite a while now and you knows about the organization and the community. So she said, what have been your biggest achievement in this community so far?
Firstly, like I said, I'm more heavy on the association. My biggest achievement in the community is it's open. Anything I can say will work because if she narrow it to a specific thing, I can be able to explain that. Okay, I have lived here, helped put the association together, and have stood by this association even during the COVID. I still pay my due. Those other people who refuse to pay their due blame it on COVID, but they were still eating. They blame it on COVID, but the association still gave out things. They blame it on COVID, but they were still able to pay their rent, car notes, and do their hair and nails. Okay? So I have done my due diligence with the association to today. So if you cannot consider to be an achievement or a loyalty to the association, well, that be it. I have also helped to put together the biggest and successful organization in the town, the Men Association. In that also, I am an advisor to the chairman. All right. They see the ability in me to advance. That is the reason why they have elected to always use me in the advisory role. Okay, I'm not going to bite their blow. I will tell you where it's to be. It's up to you to do it or not to do it.
Mr. Logan.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I think I need to ask Mr. Gaflor this question. It's equally sensitive before we start taking our colors. And Mr. Gaflor, what's your take on these two subjects? First, verbal provocation and violence in the community. What's your take on it?
Well, these are some of the reasons. With the community, it's hard to control, but in the association, we can control it. These are all reasons to justify the association divorce from the community. All right, we are in an open society, okay, that has different laws. So I would rather either be verbal or physical. People be mature in addressing their anger. Do not let your emotion drive you. All right. And if it was possible, in the next administration, they should have workshop on violence control. Okay, conflict resolution. They appointed Marco Kerry as grievance committee chair. In the same platform they appointed him, we still see people throwing jabs at each other. And now one day I've heard him say, "But you got to sit there and apply." So you're waiting for the car to crash before you can apply the brake, or you are trying to apply the brake to prevent it from crashing. So those things are very sensitive that you already said it, but the leadership will have to. So that's why if we are divorced, we can put into our regulation that to become a member, this thing you will sign to it. And if you vow at the end of the day, you be going on for the association. We can't keep you away from the community because you're free to live, but we can control you in our association.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gaflor. So if you want to participate tonight on tonight's program, the number is 41359-502. So when we come back, we go straight to the phone line. Thank you for being on Logan's Hour tonight.
Hey, beautiful ladies of Indianapolis. Are you looking for a beauty place where you can buy all your latest human hairs and other beauty accessories? Look no more. The MD Beauty Salon, located at 3429 Kentucky Avenue, is just that right spot for all your beauty needs. At MD's, our customers' satisfaction is our foremost priority. Our staffs are friendly and accommodating. Contact us today on 317-360-2624. MD Beauty Salon, your one-stop shop for all your beauty needs. And hey, ladies, when you get there, tell Mariette that the girl is sexy.
When you get there, say V. Gertie Cynthia and say you heard it on Mr. Anthony Gaflor edition.
Do I have a commission on that?
Yes, yeah, you got 1%. Say you get for 40%. Oh my God, Mr. Anthony Gaflor, I swear. Somebody people in town here, they wish they could have the power to just grab you and squeeze you.
To put me in their bottle or put me in their pocket.
Because, sometimes the way you can carry the jokes, the way you can be so serious about it, people feel you are a bully. Like the question Jeremiah asked, the first question. Because tons of people who met me before, they say, this man's a bully, this man's a bully. And I tell somebody, I say, sometimes it's just hard joke. Don't take it seriously. Because I remember you and I the first time we had all the rock and roll. The next time maybe in the public, you were the first to greet me. Like, my man, what's up? What going on now? Like, oh, I think you very let it finish you. I was like, oh my gosh.
So now, years ago they said when the sun had in Nigeria, they used to put all the short people in the house because before their temper go up until the sun settled down, then they say get out. So sometimes depending what moment you meet me, it can be a crashing moment or near crashing moment.
Thank you so much for being on the Logan's Hour today, Mr. Anthony Gaflor. So the line is open. We have the number here to call tonight if you want to speak to Mr. Anthony Gaflor or not. If you don't want to call, then we will go back to our studio panelists. But if you want to hear from Mr. Atkins, somebody calling, let me see if this is a caller who want to participate on the show. Let me see. Hello, caller.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. Are you calling to participate?
Absolutely, I am.
All right, go ahead. Anthony, can you hear him, Mr. Gaflor?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Gliver, how you doing?
I'm fine. May I know who you are?
It's the ambassador, Albert.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, sir. So I had a question for you. When it comes to one of the candidates that's going to be participating in the election, okay, Mr. Parker to be a Zach. You've been friends with Mr. Parker for a long time. Would you say so?
Oh, sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, he's at show.
Okay. So, can you tell me when it comes to character and leadership, within this community, can you tell me about the track record of Mr. Parker so the people can know?
Okay, is that it, or you have a follow-up?
That's the first question.
Okay, then ask the second one. Mr. Gaflor, can you just record the questions?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Ask the second one.
So I wanted to answer the first question before I ask the second one.
You care to answer the first one first, then you can go to the second one?
Oh, no problem.
All right, go ahead with the first one.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ambassador.
Ambassador, you will not hear him because you just sort of asked the two questions that you followed by listening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me go ahead with the first question. That's why I wanted to be.
You will not hear him.
So call you off, then you come back.
Then you call back?
Yes, I would do that. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. All right, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Gaflor. Mm-hmm.
I have known Parker from the first time he moved here.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I made physical contact with him. But I got to hear about him when his wife and his son moved here a couple of months or so before he followed. And Parker and I have had a quasi relationship until then we became close and we became member of the same association. And I'm serving as an advisor on his leadership team on the men association. And being a member is a whole different ballgame than being a leader. Today we see it even in national government, when a man is just a minister or is just a lofter, he sees leadership differently. Then when he gets there, he sees it as a whole different ballgame. Considering what Parker have done just as a member of an executive committee, it was incredible. He went with Trokong Bayu as a vice secretary general when Trokong Bayu was contesting, but unfortunately he lost. He said they not walk away from the community or the association. He affiliated as usual. Okay, and under having Penham, he served as a financial secretary, and whatever he did there, the records are there to prove it. It may not have been to perfection. It was always tentative, but we accepted that and went with it. But if it is true that he's contesting, I have not seen it. It could be different when he gets there, but time will tell. But for the past, based on my interaction with him, I admire him for that.
Do you think he would make a good leader?
Like I said, When you are standing outside the building, you see it differently. When you enter it, it becomes a whole different space. So, if whatever he did during his affiliation with Trokong Bayou Group, the general community, the men association, having penal, what he did there is holding everything constant, including the mindset of the association member. Like I said, I admire him for what he did during those period.
Okay,
But
okay. Yeah, we got
Okay.
it. We got it. We got that point. So, Mr. Gaflor.
yeah,
So, do you know Mr. Philip Logan?
yes.
What do you know about his leadership style and abilities?
Unfortunately, I have not dealt with Philip in when he's in any leadership position. So for me to put a yardstick to it, it would be very hard. Okay, I said to be corrected, that he was the president of the Indiana Young Men Association.
Mhm.
Right.
Whatever they did in the Indiana Young Men Association, I am clueless of it. So I have no paper trail to say this is what he started with and this is where he ended it. So I cannot put. I'm a big fan of his Logan Hour. If I'm to use that as my yardstick to qualify him, if that is what I have, is what I will deal with.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Gifford, as
Yeah.
concerned
So,
or tough talking community member as you are, and with these crucial elections, wherein you have graded the outgoing president as scoring 40, don't you think it's incumbent upon you to have learned or searched for the incoming contestant and to know something about them and maybe advise them or tell them how you think the community should be and how you see it?
Here's my thing about that. When it was announced, every member was aware. So every man go in their inner self and search their souls to find the good in them that they can give out to the association. All right. I do not want to give you. I do not want to can't give you a cosmetic solution. Then after that time, is that oh my man, I didn't think it was going to be this way. You yourself search your soul, your resilience, and say yes. Knowing me to be who I am, I can do this. So I'm going to go to the race. All
Yeah.
right. If a man, listen to this. If a man decides to do something, he will do it to perfection. Then when you force him to do it or when you lure him into doing it, he will only be doing it to please you, but that's not his passion.
Let me
so,
just
so, so, Joshua, let me just
rephrase my comment, my question. My point is in the background of your critique to individuals in the community. Is it not prudent to know these people as critiquing you are, to know them, because the first gentleman asked to tell us something about your friend. You couldn't give her any tangible. The second person asked to tell something about Philip. You can't give her anything tangible.
You ask me, listen. If you ask me a question, do you have an answer that you want me to give, or you want me to give you the answer that I think I have?
I mean, your answer is not being fair to the community.
Should I lie to them? Okay, Logan is a fantastic leader. Logan can make the mighty move.
No, gentlemen, this is not a conversation here. So let's not push Mr. Gifler to the wall so early. I think Abba just asked a question because Abba wanted to promote his candidate, which is acceptable and show our level of tolerance. So let's just go back to the issues.
Okay, so Mr. Gaflor.
Yeah.
What would be your advice? You've lived long enough to experience a lot. What would be your advice to our youth, our kids out there, who thinking that growing out is just something that is easy to do, without the guardians of president or parents, parental care or guardians, what would you say to them, especially when it comes to drug use and street peddling?
Okay. It is unfortunate that today we should sit there and talk this, especially after the death of one of us in a very tragic fashion. I would love for parents to unite in disciplining the child. Okay?
Okay.
I would love, if your child has a friend, it should be incumbent on you to know the parent of this child to make sure what is done in there in your absence is what done in your place, or what is done in your place is what done there. So it is a teamwork. All right. But what affect that process is we all are busy chasing the Benjamin. So we take the kids and drop them to the daycare or drop them to the neighbor house. And when we come back, we do not have time to see what is done or who they went to visit. Yes, so I went to my friend place after school. First, we should know the friend. The kids are going through peer pressure. All right. We are blessed that we went through a peer pressure by whom some all got flogged. That one reform transformed us before we came here. But the kids are going through the peer pressure, so parents have to unite in raising the child.
Okay.
Okay.
Philip, just
So
before
I
you
would
come in,
like Josh and Jeremiah to please take the president of the Basel Association question, please.
okay.
Okay, me just post it out there. They have to follow up on it.
Is the current president part of the men's association? That's the president of the Basel Association asking.
Yes, he is a part, though he
Okay.
may be delinquent on his due.
Then there's a follow up.
The follow-up says, if yes, then does the men association support the current president to win the LAR presidency?
Well, that is organizational matter, but based on my knowledge, the president is not contesting.
No, he asked a question.
Yes,
Okay.
he said, do we support if you for it? He's not contesting. Why would we support the man that is not contesting?
No, he asked the past election if the men association helped.
You are not a member then. All right?
Okay.
When
Okay.
he contested,
Okay.
he was not a member.
All right, go ahead, Jeremiah.
It's something that came to mind and it tragically slipped away. But another person could come in before I can recollect.
Okay, so before
Do you need a
another
brain
person,
booster?
before another person come in, let me ask some of the question that is online. Raji, Raji. He said, "What are some of the recommendations you have offered to the past? What are some of the recommendations you have offered to past administrations?"
It said this current or went further by how many years?
Maybe 2-3 administrations that you are aware of. What are some of those recommendations that
Okay.
you have gave to leaders to be successful in town here?
Okay. You see, having panel
Mm-hmm.
call before he took actions. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Many things panel did, he did not just get up in the morning, while in the bathroom, showering, or sitting on the store and trying to read newspaper and came out of it. He made several calls, and we all that he called, one of our ideas or combination of our ideas was pushed further to make having decisions. Okay. When it comes to the Castle Denner administration, like I said, we ran Castle Denner campaign without a dime spent to pay anybody due. I remember then, Federal Knuckles was Rufus emissary to Sorbet. That in the daytime, Federal Knuckles got ticket 2 times on his way to Sorbet, on his way back. But we refused to do that. We told Castle, just focus on the people here. These are the people that will vote. And that was a landslide victory for Castle.
Okay.
And as two-way Castle, we advising in group, separately. Okay.
Just a second. Okay, I got a call here from the election commissioner. So let's just hear him first, and you can answer that question. Go ahead, Mr. Commissioner. You are clear, Mr. Commissioner. Jeremiah, are you there? Mr. Commissioner. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Gaflor, the commissioner. I
Okay.
want to call him by. Yeah,
And with the current leadership, when the platform started getting toxic, I called him. I said, look, if even I'm involved, deal with me. If anybody go against the regulations or try to be low toxic in their posting, block them. All right. But because he had to wait until the board can approve it, and the board is so slow like a snail, it takes them long to move. So he never had the chance to act because he had to seek validation from them. And the longer he waited for their validation, the more the guys went on to carry on the platform till today. Different languages and different tools are used.
Jerry.
Yep.
No, sorry.
Hello?
Go ahead. Jeremiah Chief. Mr. Jeremiah Saleh.
Okay. Mr. Gaflor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Saleh, are you there? Hold on. I think something happening. Hold on. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have some questions for Mr. Gaflor. The first question
Mr. Gaflor, can you hear him?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, the first question having to do with what he said about Rufus Tati and the Men Association. First, I have a question when it comes to the Men Association. They basically single-handedly supported a man who was not part of the association. And after Mr. Tati became president, he joins the association. What were some of the reasons they never supported those that were part of the Men Association that was in the race at the time? And is that seen as a credibility because now they have enough candidates from the Men Association within the race? I'm asking this question not in the capacity as a commission, but as a citizen. They have somebody from the Men Association. After supporting somebody that you supported and joined the association, and then you say the person get 40. Are you telling me the next candidate you bring is going to get 30 or 20? So what's the credibility of the association? And should we listen to them? And then secondly, my other question will have to deal with being in the community. Why is it that we cannot produce a president that go for second term? All of our presidents go for first term and they leave the office. They don't want to go second term. Why? What is the cause?
Okay. Further, I was going.
Thank you, Mr. Saleh. Thank you so much. So that was Mr. Jeremiah Saleh and not the commissioner. Thank you.
I will go as it came. First question first. The Men Association does not support anybody. Okay? We don't endorse any candidate. We have never, and we decide not to do that. But we, as members of the Men Association, it's our free will to vote for a candidate of our individual choice. Okay? And when that becomes the case, you can't blame anybody. You'd be amazed how many people will be in the Men Association that will vote against Parker, or how many people were in your Men Association, if at all, Logan wrong, will vote for Parker. Depending on the platform you present. Okay? So let us don't go with that narrative that the Men Association supported Rufus and today we are grading him. I'm grading that. Two, the reason most people have not served 2 terms, the only person that served 2 terms was Kolba Kabak. Okay? The only reason why people don't serve 2 terms is, like I said to one of the questions, when you are outside the building, you see it differently. When you get in there, it's a whole different story. Leadership is not an easy thing. Some people just feel that leadership is just to go and post, and when they say, oh, this happened, you go there, they say the Men Association president. But it comes with a territory. If you cannot stand the heat, do not let the fire. So when you go in there, that having read on like some kind of thing without oven getting bad up and get a tray also can get cold. All right, the women that never end his terms. All right, so that's why it is.
Wait. So who's the man that never ended his term?
Avi did not end his term.
Avi Pena?
No, he did not.
Why? Right? Why you say so?
So the records are there. Avi left before his time. That's what the Broto charged.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Rufus went there too. Rufus is glad that there's an election commission because he was kind of worried that, hey, if nobody can come.
Mr.
If nobody can call with your children down.
so that's it. So those of you who are vying for the front office, ask them why you don't go 2 months, you don't go 2 years. And all of these things are the result of this toxic platform we have. Okay? The truth thing I think that sometimes you are a human being. All right? If you cannot withstand it, you're waiting for Mr. Cool, who is the board chair or the board. They say that why you say waiting for a rating complaint and they still be beating you, you will say, no, I'm not getting paid for this beat. Let me get out.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself as one of the reasons why these guys don't go for two terms?
I am one of those that will support
Mr.
anybody as
Logan,
long as you want to.
Yeah. Jeremiah, can you hear me? Go ahead, Mr. Gaflor. When you done, Jeremiah, come in.
So I do not choose how long you stay. You go in there and they say they shoot on your phone, you don't know.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember there was a musician that said the best shoe on his feet, burning him. You don't know what from problem to problem. He walking with his shiny shoe, but his pinky toe is crushing. He said, I'm gonna get a fine shoe on. So you wear your shoe, you decide whether it's pinning your toe or your toe is kind of thing like a crazy leg. It's up to you.
I'll tell you, Mr. Gaflor, the man, he stopped talking. He will not shy away from no question here tonight. All right, so we have a question here from the Bassa Association president, Mr. Rhys W. Bassigia. The question is, do you think the men's association deceived the Liberian community since you graded him 40%?
Mr. Bassigia, like I said, I am heavy on the association and the community. Okay? The men association is a single entity, and everybody in the association are different outside of the men association. All right. When Rufus was contesting, he contested as a Liberian free to participate in the men association. Everybody, I did not vote for Rufus. So let me take that long. I did not vote for Rufus. Okay. So the men association should not be held responsible for any scorecard that Rufus received. All right. Yes, the Rufus. How many times has he recognized the men association at any of his public appearances? When? None. Okay, and the last time he appeared on the open table, he apologized that he was an oversight, but he gave open recognition to the Young Men Association that is, 2 years old? And this is a 15-year-old organization that he could not recognize, but he recognized the 2-3-year-old Young Men Association. Because
maybe for the work they've been doing.
Okay, fine. So say the man. So it's just to answer Mr. Bessiga that we should not be held responsible for Rufus' performance, be it up or down.
Okay. So tonight you care to say that your 40% grade is Anthony Gaflor grade is not reflection of the men's association.
No, not the men's association. Okay. I will be doing harm. I could be charged for treason if I do that.
I like it, man, so much. All right, Joshua, if you have any question, then we can just, if not, we can go to Mr. Gaflor for his parting because he's been here for 1 hour 33 minutes now.
Can you project Asset
Gofen? He has a question there. Okay, so Mr. Asset Gofen has a question here. He said, what have the Men Association done for the community for the past 15 years that you mentioned?
Oh my goodness. Ase, welcome to Indiana. All right. This Men Association has a signature event that concludes the year. And almost everybody from every cubicles, okay, show up to that. Everyone is sitting as I speak to you now. They have asked him, do they have ticket? Is ticket on sale now? Because they want the mission to be a part of that event that day. I am not here with the responsibility of announcing, but I'm doing it in my own name. That so the last Saturday of the year.
So you pay for the PR, right?
I'm doing it in my own capacity as an advisor.
All
That
right, go ahead.
the last Saturday of this year, there will be a great year any more at the printer. Take your call Sarah Dennis and put in your order.
I've been there. I
Okay,
always,
good.
I always support. I always support
All
the men
right, good.
association.
So as a goofy, Mr. Logan is a testimony.
Yeah, I've
He
been
has
there.
always show up and
that is not. You see, the problem you must be having on the discussion is your way of answering the question is not. The general want to know what have you people done. He's not asking about your.
Oh, we have listen to this. We have supported. We have LAI would never have come this far if the men association had not saved a city money. I'll give it this way. J.D. Walker received $30,000 for Casa Dennis. J.D. Walker turned in $250. Alvin got there, and after a couple of miscellaneous expenses, Alvin received not more than $150. It was the men association that raised money for Alvin government to kick off. So if it is anything when it comes to rescue, it is the men association that rescued LAI.
That's one.
Okay, I'm glad that you can put a one. I'm glad that you don't go with zero. I'm glad that you can go with one. So it's not, now you see where the community, I'm still struggling with combining them.
Mm-hmm.
Association did not have money. Community did not raise money. It was the men association that raised so much money. The records are there. Today, Avi Penner was able to use that money to expand it to whatever amount he was able to present. Okay? And in the men association, we have highly respectable people, honorables. Any conflict, if there's any, we have not been in it. We are prepared to solve it. If you go on our platform, you don't see toxic statements. You don't see trashy statement or posting. Okay? It is that united we are. Our purpose is to keep ourselves unified. And when need be, we will help other people.
Let me just ask
last question. Yeah,
my last question.
Ooh, Jeremiah, going through it tonight.
On Az's question, I believe he's not satisfied with your answering, but you name one thing that the main department did, which was to help the incoming problem. But like you have this president personally.
Just a second, Joshua, asking your question.
There are other ups and downs in the community. I believe the question is
just a second.
What specific have the main department done that will have turned chaotic if you have not intervened in that situation?
Okay, so in answering that question, let me just add a second question to that. Jeremiah, go ahead.
So, Mr. Andre Gaflor, I want to debunk something you said in studio. And you just clearly speak out forceful that it was the men's association that jumpstart army administration. That's a complete falsehood. I want to debunk that. That's not from the pit of hell. Army administration started from the ball. What was collected from the door of entrance? That how we have money in the account to start the association. The men association started contributing during the first July 26 program, where we sold some t-shirts, and most of that finances went to the men association, not even LAI. So you guys are one of the biggest problems in this community. You should start speaking lies and falsehood, because I can guarantee you that you never help. Your association never helped to jumpstart RB administration. Thank you. Get your facts right when you come in studio.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Jeremiah Saleh. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Gaflor.
Okay. Jeremiah Saleh, I don't know in what capacity he was working, but when they having get the money to raise the to do the program that he talk about, the raise money from, was it the rock? Whatever the case is, go into the file and see how much the men association gave to Alvin Penner for his organization to start moving. It's good. Okay? So, that they say, whether he call it as a falsehood, But as far as our record, our paper trail, our cash flow can explain that money was given to Army. If Army did not use it, so be it. But as far as we are concerned, we have record to show for that.
To my question.
Yeah.
But the question is, before I had one count on you before the brother debunked that. So my question is, what have you guys done that if you are not intervened, it was 10 chaotic in the community, the main department?
Unfortunately, that situation has not arisen. Okay? We have not had a situation where there's a standoff and nobody can go in unless the men. We are blessed not to have had anything like that. So I will give you a wrong answer if I tell you say it was during Peter, Paul, or Mary or Jackson time. No.
So basically that means you haven't done anything because they want to depend auto somebody debunk that.
No, I am glad this is not because he debunked me as a lie. If you can go do your research, that's it. If you can go do your research, you will see how much the Men Association gave to the Avi Panel leadership. All right? You will go see that. So don't just buy it. Okay, go in there and see it and know the full details. He was once a member of the Men Association. Okay.
Okay.
So what else?
All right. So Joshua, if you have no question, because I think my dear brother and friend Jeremiah Chie having a little difficulties. So let me just call him to do his parting. Then we can ask Mr. Gaflor to do his parting. Mr. Gaflor, just bear with us because Jeremiah Chie really wanted to be part of the conversation, but I think he's having a little problem because he really wanted to interact with you, but it is what it is. Mr. Chie. Well, would you go to you to give your parting since Mr. Gaflor will soon be leaving. So can you just give your parting since your internet is a little tripping because we're in Plainfield?
Well, we had a fruitful discussion, but we only had a chance to.
Are you there? Mr. Chie? Jeremiah?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, go ahead. We're listening.
He's creating a government of 40%, and that quantify his school of thought. And I would like to say he quote unquote explained a few things that was well prepared by him to come and give to our audience. But I want to ask him one final question before I part. I would like to say, Mr. Gaflor, do you think our past leader and even present leaders are a blessing or a curse? One, because they all tend to onward go back home and want to contest in our elections back home. Is it a good sign or a bad sign? Do you support that or you don't?
We see a lot of leadership that originate from America become more a curse to Liberia. All right?
Okay.
Not to go too far, I will start with the heading government. Heading government was about 95% of diaspora or former residents. Okay?
All right.
So they got there. What did we get from them?
Can you hear Jeremiah?
Let me be a little bit audible.
Okay, Jeremiah, just ask a second question, then you just do your party, then you just record it and just.
I just think you should just go about doing that and answering those ones, and then.
Okay. Yeah, ask, go ahead.
Okay. Helen took all her ministers and special or office staff, like put them on the Zolotiza and took them to Liberia, thinking that they had lived in developed country and advanced country, they will be able to use some of those skills they learned from there to help the Liberian people. But where are we today? Okay, so it's like taking Avin Penal. He's a young man determined to help Liberia, but he's one person. We see other people like Rufus live here. Rufus could go over there, and what he see there could be different. He's forcing the will of what he see on the people. They're going to rebel. and you become a failure. Because once your weight don't go, you're going to fail. At the end of the day, you take your own brown envelope and get out. So I think we need the grassroots politicians, not those imported politicians. Okay?
All right. So Jeremiah Chia slipped the line. So Mr. Gaflor, thanks for being here tonight. We want to say we really do appreciate you. We hope you can come back again, because I can see from the comment section, your people in Indiana here, they were bashing you up, but I like your calm demeanor, and you always like, well, wherever you say that's it. I'm Anthony Gaflor. I can choose you. So thank you so much, Mr. Gaflor. Thanks for having the elephant skin. So
Thank you.
Joshua, if there's no question again, then we'll just go to Mr. Gaflor to have his party.
So, quickly, I just want to say thank you for coming on the Looking Hours and to speak to the Liberian people. My take on the whole discussion is it is good for every one of us to participate, come on the forefront, and don't wait until the water spill before you try to critique and say, that you did a mistake. You should have done it this way. Let's start the ball from the beginning. Let's fix it together. We shouldn't wait until it is spoiled before we come up front. Your mayor's association, in my mind, you could not point to anything tangible that you have done for the community except the one thing that was debunked. And so I think for the past 15 years, you guys need to do more than what you guys are doing now. We want to see more tangibles, development in leadership. That's why people know you for, and that's what people take you for. As an individual, I think you're very well known and very looked to person. So Joe Biden said leader words matter. So I think if you start to advise these young people that are coming to power, tell them the way forward and tell them what you think will be better for the community, I think it will carry them a long way than to wait until they make mistake before you start to, last them. It's not helping the community. Thank you very much for the edition.
All right. So Mr. Jeremiah Chia, finally he have made it again. So Mr. Chia, is there any final word for Mr. Gaflor before he gave his party?
Mr. Gaflor, thanks for showing up on the Logan's Hour. It's always fascinating having you around. You being one of the elders in our community, we look forward to every time on speaking with you on fruitful discussion related to our community, to our environment, our own politics locally, even internationally. You've been well versed, and I think I should appreciate you. Not everyone will come on the Logan's Hour or open table to discuss issues relevant to our community. So when we have people like you always coming up to come and say one or two things, we appreciate it greatly, and we appreciate also our followers. Yeah, because they are the ones who keep the show running. So I would like to say a big thank you. Even at times, but I think I appreciate a fruitful conversation that we have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeremiah Chia. So, Mr. Gaflor, it's up to you. Let's just have your parting, sir. Thank you for
thank
being
you
here.
so much to Mr. Logan, the two gentlemen in studio, and the viewer out there. We can do better. Okay, if we all do our part, a lot can be done. Okay, but we have to take the bull by the horn. We have to set ourselves ready to work. Okay, like a few days ago, somebody posted, "Oh, how can I get on LAI so that I can base all the G's?" LAI platform is not the G's. All right, LAI platform should be used for constructive posting. Okay. So let all respect the platform and post what the association needs to grow. Let us stop using it as a laundry room to launder our dirty clothes. Okay, with not too much to be expressed out here, I want to say thank you all for listening under my voice. And Unfortunately, for those who question could not be asked, maybe at another time your question will be asked and a deserving answer will be given. Thank you, and you guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tony Gaflor. We want to say thanks again for coming here, and we hope this shouldn't be your last time. Whenever you have something of the community concerns or national concerns you feel that you want to share with the rest of the other folks, let this place be your home.
Thank
Thank
you.
you again, Mr. Gaflor. Thank you so much. All right, guys. There you have it. That was Mr. Anthony Gaflor. He was here. The tough talking Anthony Gaflor. I'll go to you first, Mr. Jeremiah Chi, because you and him can get along. Sometimes you can get along. What do you make of him tonight?
I think Mr. Gafler triumphed on his usual topics, criticism to the fullest, and not accepting wrongs and blames. But I think overall he did exceptionally well in dealing with, in tackling sentiments, violence, the rights of other people. But I think he did a disservice to himself at the end of critiquing the government under which he served and dismally grading them to a low proportions. But I think these are political times, and I think he deserves his comment and his rights under our laws and the
Yeah.
constitution of which he was part of. So we accept them, and we also look forward to always hearing from him. We have people following us every time, and according to us, your platform, Mr. Logan, is very is quintessential in our times, because we back in the days we never had these things on our gadgets, and now we view them, and we take it as a blessing, and we move on. We also like to take this time to admonish our followers, even the host, the host, other panelists like Joshua who join us, and Papi Sumo who always out there, Rex Basikia, all the people calling in, all the commenters, and everybody always grew into this show for a reason, because they are part of the community and they deserve every ounce of information from this community. So
Yeah.
we would like to appreciate all of them out there as well. And my final parting comment could also be, we love you all, and our mothers out there, our fathers, we are grateful to have you around us for advice, and special appreciation to my wife, and who always made a time to tune in to the broadcast. Even if she's working, she watch it after hours. So I appreciate her for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeremiah Chi. We want to say thanks for always being on the Logan's Hour. Thank you, my brother. All right, so let's go to J. Joshua K. Power Sr., the tough talking J. Joshua K. Power Sr., Ohio
So
1. Let's
yes,
get
sir.
your party, my dear brother.
So it is always an opportunity to share the platform with great men with ideas. The essence of this um, platform is to share good messages with our community members to inform them on unfolding issue. Mr. Gifler is a good fellow. He spoke to the issues. While it is true that I disagree with him on many of his points he brought, but we need somebody to be able to speak to issues, somebody to be able to bring out, the argument, but we are here to correct, to checkmate the gentleman who will come on the platform. One of the things I told the gentleman and to every other person who watching who have interest in our community leadership, don't just sit there, don't just critique, don't just criticize. I hold to the argument of solving the problem before it happens. I do not like damage control. Damage control may not always end up well, and so I love to tackle the problem before it can even come to surface. So looking hours here, I just wish that the people of Indiana could really take advantage of your platform and promote their business, let out their disenchantment. We are not charging you anything. We just want to share the information. We spend money on this app. We
Oh,
spend money,
yeah.
to pay for this thing. Like I pay my Zoom, so I pay for unlimited.
Yeah.
just for the law of the community, so
These
that we
softwares
just
are expensive.
yes, the software are very expensive. So all you need to do is come on and let's share information like what Gaflor did. You keep on, let it out and let people ask you questions, people critique you. But if you just go behind the horn and go gossip about it, and nobody, it's not solving any problem. So
Yeah.
people eat there and I make use of the looking hours.
I look forward to inviting the board chair as well. Let's hear his general perspective as to the organization. He been board chair for almost 4 or 5 years now. What do he think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know that it's a new revelation to me that most of your president have not gone for second term. Everybody
Yeah.
going for first and first.
Some people don't entertain. Suppose say I take it for me. I take it for me. I'm
Right.
president no more.
So it's a serious issue. It's a very serious issue. The board chairman can explain to us why these people don't entertain. Is there anything that we don't know that by the time people come to power, they can't go for the second term? Because government is sweet. Power is sweet. So if somebody can run away from power, it is a serious issue.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because nobody want to give power easily. And why this time around people running away from the power, then means something wrong somewhere.
Wrong somewhere.
All right,
Yeah.
my dear brother Joshua. So thank you so much, man, my dear brother. Thank you for joining the Logan's Hour. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who out there who joined us tonight. We are so grateful. We are always grateful for you joining the Logan's Hour. This is not just about us. This is about the community. If anything you think that can make the community better, any ideas you think that help to make the community better, come on. Let's join the community together. Let's change this community the way we want it to be. Whether you can sow, whether your interest, whatever career you have, if you feel you can come up here and we talk about it. Like the other day, I've been talking about the entrepreneur session. We've been planning that entrepreneur session. We're working towards that, and we will have that done ASAP to have all the entrepreneurs up here. We have Deborah, Emma, when what the other guy named Myers and Avi and all the people that have businesses. If you have businesses, you want to be part of the entrepreneur session, you can just give us your number. You can send your number to the number you see up there. The number we use to do the calling in. You can send your number here. We can add you to the entrepreneur session. So at least let's sit up here up to 10 panelists and let's have this conversation. There are so many people out there want to know about entrepreneurship. So we that knows about it, let educate those that don't know about it, because that's how. And we also love to also on one of these days we have somebody here who will talk about financial literacy, and that will be so good for the community as well. So all of those in the community want to say thank you for joining us tonight. And to all of you people who join us tonight, I don't know if I can call some of you name. Okay, let me see if I can call some people name tonight, because there are tons of people who follow us here tonight. I want to say thanks to the Crime Ambassador for joining us. Thanks to Celine Valentino. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Peter Howell. Thanks to Orita Joe Banks. Thanks to Raji. Thanks to Mawen. Thanks to Abbott, the ambassador. Thanks to the King Yuji Doswa. He joined us here tonight. And Tutu Makate, the Logan's Hour Queen. And thanks to Rodan Keseli Akwe. Thanks to my brother, Mr. Richard Booya. And thanks to who there again? G Consistent Morris. And thanks to all of you, whether you make comment or you not make comment, all of you who make it your duty. Thanks to the youth chair, Fatima Famule, the ever potent youth chair of our community. Thanks for coming on the Logan's Hour too. And thanks to my beautiful wife, Samara Hamu Logan. Thanks for joining the Logan's Hour tonight as well. And thanks to Brandy Alpha tonight, your first night on the Logan's Hour. I want to say welcome, Brandy. Let's come here, girl. That's where we get the information for the community. So thanks to Brandy Alpha for joining the conversation here tonight. Cash flow, thanks for coming to Mr. Rich W. Bassi. I want to say thanks for joining Logan's Hour. Mr. Isaac Goldfan as well, as always. Thanks for coming again, my dear brother. So to all of you out there who make it here tonight, I can't mention everybody here because I see the comment just keep going down. It would eat up all of the time. We've been here now. It's exactly 2 hours since we joined the conversation tonight. I want to say to all of you out there, we sincerely appreciate you. We don't know how to say thank you. Because of you, we are here. We will keep disseminating the information, whatever way possible. If you know something If you hear something, say something. Don't let it be too late before you can say something. With that being said, we will meet again on Thursday. And Thursday promised to be very fascinating. And Saturday, don't forget, 2 o'clock p.m., switch to Open Table. They will bring you the information from the other side. Thanks for joining Logan's Hour. We say bye-bye and good night.
Liberian.